What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the End to End podcast. Today we're coming at y'all with a brand new episode. It's episode 10. We about to look at the team of the year, discuss it, give y'all our own version of the teams individually. Today I'm here with the boys. Hash, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, bro. What's good? What's good?
Chilling. What's good, Ruben? How you been, bro?
I'm good, bro. How y'all doing?
All right, so as y'all can see, here's the team. They got Yamal, Dembele, Pedri, Vitinha, Bellingham, Palmer. In the back, they got Mendes, Hakimi, Van Dijk, Pacho, and Donnarumma. So personally, I disagree with a few positions. I don't know about y'all. So let's get into it. So Ruben, do you want to get into your version of the team, or do y'all want to discuss it before? What y'all think?
Let's discuss it before, and then after
Okay.
that, let's give our own teams.
Okay, so let's just go through each position and see if we agree or disagree. So Donnarumma and goal. Personally,
Agree.
I agree. I feel like they won
I
the
agree.
ACL. I feel like it's an easy choice in my opinion. What do you
Definitely.
guys
Big
think?
saves. Big saves.
Okay, bet. Hakimi, I don't think anybody's gonna contest that. I agree with that personally. What do y'all think?
I
Most
agree.
definitely.
Yeah, Mendes too. I feel like those two,
Agree.
Hakimi and Mendes, bro. Last season, genuinely, you could argue that was the best fullback seasons in both positions, respectively, like, of all time, or at least in the recent years. Like, bro, they were insane, bro. Like,
Most definitely in
Hakimi
the
scored in the
recent years,
final,
bro.
assisted in the final. Like, bro, Mendes locked up how many players, bro? Genuinely speaking, like that whole PSG team was just so dominant, bro. Genuinely,
The last
but
time we saw a team with those fullbacks, I feel like it was Marcelo and Carvajal in their primes.
yeah. I could agree with that. I could agree with that.
Yeah.
I still don't think they ever reached that level personally. Like the level
Yeah,
Mendes and Hakimi had last season, they were insane, bro.
I agree. I agree.
Pacho. Personally, I disagree with Pacho. I agree with Van Dijk. I feel like he should be there, Liverpool in the league. But I would put a guy like Bastoni there, in my opinion. They got deep. I think they lost the league in like the last couple weeks. They lost the cup final too, I believe, or they won the cup. But getting to the final, Bastoni was elite. He played next to like Cherby. Cherby's a good player, but he played next to a lot of aging players. But personally, I would put Bastoni. What do you guys think?
I personally would take Martinez.
Okay, Inigo Martinez.
Yeah,
I feel like
with
that's
Van
valid.
Dyke.
That's valid. Yeah, they won a domestic treble basically last year. Everything in Spain. Ruben, who you got, bro?
I had Saliba and Gabriel.
Oh, so you don't have Van Dijk.
No,
I feel like Saliba and Gabriel in terms of ability are up there, yeah. But like last season, they based these awards off of like trophies and what they achieve. I feel like the Arsenal players are just punished for not winning major trophies. You know what I mean?
I get that, but I felt like defensively their performance was very, very impressive. And I Liverpool won the league, but let's be real. Salah really carried them.
Yeah, I hear that. But Van Dijk was elite last year. Don't get it
He was
twisted.
elite, but
And
mm,
also, let's not forget Gabriel got injured last season for like a
okay.
couple months, so like that
Yeah, we're
factor.
forgetting that part.
Yeah, true. So that covers the back line. In the midfield, I mean they ran a 4-4-2, so they have two wingers, two wide midfielders, and then two eights. They got Bellingham and Vitinha in the eights. I agree with Vitinha. I think Vitinha was elite last year throughout the whole UCL campaign, the whole treble campaign. I disagree with Jude though. I have no idea how Jude Bellingham makes this team. Even Palmer next to him, I feel like this is just English bias at its finest. Like these guys have no place in this team whatsoever, bro. Like, what do you guys think?
I
Yeah, I
agree
see.
with
I
that.
see what you're saying. Yeah, most definitely.
Ruben, you think Palmer should make this team? You think Jude should make this team?
I would have changed the formation. I would have removed Jude and Palmer, and I would have done 4-3-3. I keep Pedri and Vitinha, and I put Raphinha as my
Okay.
attacking midfielder, and I would have
Yeah.
put Dembele, Lamine, and Mbappe.
That's what I would have done too, something similar. I would have kept the 4-4-2 though. I would have just put Vitinha Pedri, and then on the wing I would have had Yamal on the right. You could argue Salah should make this team, but I feel like
Yeah.
for these awards, you have to do it in every competition. They lost the Carabao Cup final. Salah didn't do much. I think he struggled to. I don't in the Carabao Cup final. Salah didn't have one shot on target. In the elimination games in the UCL against PSG. He was poor in both games. Mendes locked him up. Yes, he did have arguably the greatest Premier League season ever, but for these awards, it has to be in every competition. You have to do well in the UCL. You have to do well in the cup competitions in your country. Salah was just poor in everything but the Premier League, in my opinion. So I would put Yamal. And then on the left, I would have Raphinha. I have no idea how Raphinha didn't make this team. For Palmer to be in this team and Raphinha to be in this team, for Jude to be in this team and Raphinha not to make this team, even for Yamal to make this team without Raphinha, I think is insane. I think it's very disrespectful. I have no idea why not only the Ballon d'Or and this association has just chosen to scapegoat Raphinha this year, but what y'all think on that?
Man, I feel like Rafinha is most definitely not getting the flowers he's deserving, like from anyone,
Facts.
and that's even from his team pushing Lamine for a Ballon d'Or, you know. And I feel like y'all were saying, like you said actually, I feel like we could keep the 4-4-2 and put Lamine or Salah and put Rafinha on the left. Most definitely, Rafinha definitely deserves his spot on that team. Jude and Palmer, I feel like it's like PR or something. You know, it's not really deserved.
Oh, really? They put Lamine up top, Palmer on the right, and then Bellingham in the middle, and then Pedri on the left to somehow fit Jude and fucking Palmer in here. I don't get it, bro. Ruben, what do you think? Oh, you already told me. So you would change the formation and get rid of Palmer and Jude. Okay.
For sure, bro. I watched Barca last season. When you really look at the game, it's not just about the stats. He had very impressive stats, but it's the energy he brings. He
Yeah.
brings great energy to the team, and I just don't
Raphinha's
get
a
it.
dog, bro. Like in every part of the game, like whatever you need him to do, whatever role you need him to play in a specific game, he'll play, bro. If you need him to play off of Lamine, just let Lamine cook. Wait for the long balls, he'll be there. If you need him to play the 10 role and play make for others, he'll do that. If you need him to play striker, he'll do that. Yo, he's so versatile. He had the best stats last season. Like, bro, if Barca win the UCL, Rafinha probably wins the Ballon d'Or. So you're telling me that's the difference from him not even making the team of the year? That's crazy. I don't get the logic. I don't
Yeah,
understand.
that's why we hear often that these awards lost their credibility. You know, some because now it's like mostly about team awards that gives you your personal award, which is kind of crazy when you see that.
Facts. I feel like the Ballon d'Or has always low key been like that, but it has been a bit more the choices have been a bit more drastic in the past couple of years, especially with Vinny. But I don't know, man. I they are losing their credibility in my opinion.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
so going forward, we have Mbappe, no, Dembele and Lamine in the original lineup. Personally, I would have Dembele and Mbappe. I feel like they were the two best strikers last year. Even though Mbappe, you could argue the way he plays, he hinders Madrid at times, but that's not his fault. The manager sends him out there to play in a certain role, and play a certain way, and he does that, and he scores his goals. He gets his numbers. He did that last season. He scored a hat trick against Barca in like 35 minutes. Mbappe was outrageous at the start of the season. He was mid, but he picked it up and never looked back last year. And versus Man City, that amazing goal when he dropped Gavardio on the floor, he was just insane last year, in my opinion. I think he should make that team. And Dembele next to him, Ballon d'Or winner. I feel like Dembele was the best player on the planet last year in terms of performance. In terms of performance, and when
I
you
can
factor in
agree.
what they
I can
achieved,
agree with that.
I'm saying in terms of when you factor in everything, like what they achieved, the role they play, how important they were to their team, and the performance. Dembele, you can't really, there was no cons to his season, bro. Like everything went right. If you look at the individual numbers, they were there. If you look at the team, the impact on the team, they were there. When he was injured, they were worse when he came back. If you look at the goals in big games he scored against Liverpool, when they couldn't score a goal, they struggled. Liverpool beat them in the first leg, even though they dominated. For somehow they just couldn't score a goal. Dembele finally broke the deadlock at Anfield, scored the final goal in the penalty shootout, scored against Arsenal in the first couple 10 minutes to really change the game and give them the momentum for the rest of the series. Dembele was just really good last season, in my opinion. It really epitomized the Ballon d'Or season for me. But what do y'all think? Y'all contest Mbappe and Dembele, or would
I
y'all have
thought
somebody different
I
there?
thought Raphinha should have been the Ballon d'Or. Raphinha was the most consistent from the start to finish the last season. I remember Dembele was hot specifically in December and January when he was scoring and scoring and scoring. But he was kind of quiet earlier this season. Raphinha was hot from start to finish.
I agree, but if we look at what the Ballon d'Or is, the Ballon d'Or has never obligated you to be good throughout the whole year. If you pick it up in January and score 50 goals and win the UCL, you're still the Ballon d'Or in most people's eyes. Like, bro, we've seen guys like R9 win the Ballon d'Or off 7 games in the World Cup. Even Messi, you could argue. Some people like Messi had great numbers individually, but in 2022, if he didn't win the World Cup and have had a great World Cup campaign, he wouldn't have won the Ballon d'Or. So in my opinion, a guy like Dembele who scored in every major final, every major round, he scored in the quarterfinal, semifinal. He didn't score in the final where he played really good. He dropped deep when his team needed to. He just epitomized what that PSG team was. Everything Enrique needed from him, he did, and he still got his numbers. If you go look at the games, the eye test, he was amazing, bro. I think Dembele
That's
deserves
another
it.
thing. We forget that, just like we said for Rafinha, all that he brings to the team and all that, Dembele did the same thing for his team. He even
Yeah,
sacrificed his play style, you could say, for his team
exactly.
to get
And he
where they
still
got,
got
and
numbers
he
while
still got the numbers.
sacrificing his play style.
He
That's
changed his
insane.
play style, his position, and everything.
Like, bro,
And
so you could argue that that's the deepest in a like Dembele had never played a deeper role in his career in terms of the
exactly,
positions he found
the
himself in
switch was
throughout
just so
games.
drastic.
Literally. If you look at the positions he found himself in throughout games, that's probably the deepest role he's ever had to play throughout a season, ever.
Yeah, of
And
course.
he had the best season of his career in terms of offensive numbers, in terms of GA. And, bro, he was the most important player on arguably the greatest team ever, bro. That PSG team dominated the UCL like we've never seen since Barca Pep days, bro. Man City
Five
did
zero
it
in
did
a
it a couple
Champions
years
League
ago, but
final is crazy.
literally, bro, to tell me that you're the best player on that team, I think it was a valid Ballon d'Or. But
Yeah,
I don't even disagree on the Raphinha shot. I feel like it was one of the most cutthroat black and white seasons we've ever seen. If Barca go to the final and win, Raphinha wins. If Dembele go to the final and win, if PSG go to the final and win, Dembele wins. It was that black and white in my opinion. And bro, people forget Raphinha scored the goal in like the closing moments of the game. Barca choked. Bro, that goal that Raphinha scored when people thought it was a game winner and Barca were gonna go to the final, bro. If Barca go to the final after that goal, bro, what? Bro, the goal he scored receiving the corner from Yamal, bro, that
Mhm.
belted hit the bro. Rafinha was on one last season, bro. Niggas forget, bro. Like
yeah,
for Rafinha not to make this team is so crazy, bro. Like genuinely, bro, it's so disrespectful. And like Hash said, I think Barca fans, they're not to blame as a whole, but they definitely are 25-30% of the blame, bro, because they did push Lamine way more than he should have pushed. You should have at least pushed both equally. It's like they forgot about Raphinha as soon as they didn't win the UCL because nobody was gonna hear it. But even if you lose the UCL, you can be like, oh, you see the eye test, this, that with your mouth, you can still make an argument. Whereas you had no arguments after losing the UCL.
Well,
So
well, to be honest, I don't have no problem with Dembele winning it. Like you made all the points. He was really good. He was great. But if we're being real, who's the better player, Raphinha or
I
Dembele?
think Dembele, personally, I think
I
Dembele.
think if we're talking about naturally gifted, I think
I think, bro, if
Dembele.
we're talking about ability, if I'm
Well,
a
we're talking about
coach,
last season,
no,
though.
yo, if I'm a coach, right, I get a first pick between Rafinha and Dembele, and then I got to build around them. Give me Dembele.
Yeah,
I'm taking Raphinha.
I swear.
but
I don't think that's
that's
crazy to say.
that's also
I don't
why.
think Dembele. I don't think saying Rafinha picking Rafinha is crazy. But personally, I would pick Dembele. I feel like
Yeah.
Dembele can do so much at such an efficient level, bro. Like yo,
Raphinha too.
Dembele healthy. Like genuinely, the only thing I think some niggas have over Dembele is they healthy, bro. Genuinely, bro. That
Yeah,
nigga can stay
a lot
healthy,
of
bro. That
players,
nigga got no
a lot
legs,
of
bro.
players.
Literally, bro. But y'all want to add anything before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I think that's why Raphinha and Dembele as a Ballon d'Or race would have been much more interesting because
Mhm.
they've played such similar roles in their teams.
I agree.
You know, it
The
would have
narrative
been
would have been fire. But bro, you
exactly.
see if Barca made the UCL final, it would have been one of the greatest Ballon d'Or races of all
It would have been
time, bro.
one of,
It
if
would have been
not the
some
greatest
movie
soccer
shit.
season in
It would
football.
have literally been some movie shit, but fucking was it Gerard Martin? What Barca defender fucked up? Araujo or Gerard Martin? Who fucked up? And
Probably
the
a Rumble, bro. It's always a
one
Rumble, bro.
of them
It's
fucked up, bro.
probably
Someone fucked up, bro. They let 37-year-old center back score a game winner in the Champions League semifinal in extra time, bro. Like, yo, genuinely, like if Inter should have won, bro. Like Inter let bro, that shit could have been such a fire story if they won, bro. But them niggas lost 5-0, so I'm talking shit. So
yeah.
before we end
Yeah,
this,
cooked.
let's like set a team or we agree on our three. So we all agreed on Donnarumma. We all agreed on the fullbacks. I
Yeah,
think me and Hash both had Van Dyke, right? So we're just
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
put
We
Van
did, we
Dyke
did,
two
we did.
versus three, and then I said Bastoni, you said Martinez, and then you had Gabriel or Saliba. So out of those three, who do y'all think is most valid? If we had to agree on one,
To be honest, I wouldn't mind Van Dijk Saliba.
I don't think even as an Arsenal fan, I think these Saliba is probably the best defender here as of now in terms of ability, bro. In my opinion.
That's what it
But
is. It's like
yeah, if we're talking
on
about like
paper,
everything factoring into it, I feel like it's either Bastoni or Martinez for me.
yeah, on paper it sounds nice to say Saliba, but let's not forget that he did get injured and stuff.
No,
And
Gabriel got injured. Saliba
Gabriel
played
got
the whole
injured.
year, but we
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
win
yeah.
much, bro. We finished second. We lost in the semifinal. We had a good year. He was amazing against Madrid too. Both legs cooked Mbappe.
Let's remember
But
Arsenal conceded less goals than Liverpool. Even though Liverpool won the league, they still conceded less.
yeah, yeah, I agree. We were defensively solid, and Saliba had to play next to niggas like Kiwior during the season, and he made Kiwior look amazing. Niggas, he had niggas thinking Kiwior should stay, bro. But like, bro, I don't think he should make this team in terms of like if you look at all of what factors into these teams. Usually, I would go personally. I would go Bastoni, but I don't mind putting in Inigo Martinez because Barca won more trophies, and he played bro. That Barca high line last season, bro. That's not easy to play. We're seeing it
Yeah.
with Araujo now, and that nigga was aging. Let's not
I
forget when
mean,
they bought
that's
Inigo
also
Martinez.
Araujo, so that's a wrong example.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah. True, but it is a difficult system to play in general.
yeah,
Like
fair
it's not
enough, fair
easy.
enough.
It's not easy, bro.
But Barca
Um,
conceded too many goals last season for us to put Inigo in there, bro.
Nah, bro, but that's
But I
the thing
don't think
with
that's
that's the
really
thing
his
with
fault,
Barca,
you know.
bro. They weren't a defensive side. They were
I
gonna
get that.
outscore you.
I know
They were
that, but
gonna outscore you.
too
But
much.
bro, like you're seeing now, bro, you could argue Araujo is a better defender traditionally than Inigo Martinez. It's about the system. It's about what player fits that role better. So I've genuinely never seen a player play a high line like Inigo Martinez for
Yeah,
Barca last
I don't
season.
really think it's fair to like personally punish him for a Barca game,
Bro,
to be
like
honest. But
It's not
Kubarsi and
fair, bro.
Inigo Martinez had to do so much last season, and
and
they
for
did it so
Kubarsi to
well.
fit in that system at this young
Especially in the
age,
big games, especially the opponents they had to play. You look at Lautaro Martinez, fast player, gets behind the defenders. Mbappe, fast player, gets behind the defenders. Julian of Alvarez, bro, fast player, gets behind the defenders. He's constantly going up against crazy attackers. I would put Inigo Martinez next to Van Dijk with the two PSG fullbacks.
yeah,
I feel like if we were to take a vote, that's what we would agree on. And we all said Raphinha, and we all agree on Raphinha and Yamal on the wings,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
yeah.
And then middle, Vitinha Pedri. I feel like we all agree on that.
That's
Yeah.
Right.
And then Mbappe
that's
and Dembele up top,
Yeah.
personally. I feel
yeah,
like it's as simple as you have the Ballon d'Or and the Golden Boot, bro. Like
yeah,
literally, as
yeah, yeah.
simple as that. All right, so appreciate y'all for tuning in. We're gonna try staying more consistent. We got y'all. Like, subscribe, follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Big things coming up soon. Share with your friends. I appreciate y'all.